Hello and welcome to today's 5-in-1 Mayani Talks, where we look a little bit deeper into who creates your pieces of jewelry. So, diving right in with fact number 1. Historically speaking, majority of luxury and bridal jewelry has been designed and handcrafted or crafted by men. As a consequence, male viewpoints and patriarchal expectations have largely dominated what we view as luxury jewelry in the existing world around us in the modern world. They've had an influence on how we view luxury jewelry, not just in terms of everyday luxury jewelry, but also in terms of bridal luxury jewelry. Fact number 2. Typically, when men design pieces of jewelry or are behind the designing process, they create the pieces of jewelry from very much a male point of view of what women are interpreted as. So a male interpretation of what it is to be a woman, and consequently women are typically seen as spectacles or as performers. They create pieces of jewelry for us or design pieces of jewelry for us with a view of us as brides or as dancers or essentially as anything in someone else's fantasy, as undefined by women but purely defined from a male point of view. So we become very much a way, the pieces of jewelry that are created for women become very much a way of making women look more attractive, more of a spectacle, more shiny, more beautiful from a male point of view. And the jewelry becomes less about actual self-expression, creative self-expression. Fact number 3, typically when male designers create pieces of jewelry for women, they tend to favor symmetry over the soulfulness of the pieces they're creating. They also tend to favor opulence, so how much precious metal and precious stone has gone into the piece of jewelry, as opposed to comfort. And finally, they tend to favor fantasy over actual functionality because they lack the lived experience. They have no idea what it is to be a woman, and consequently their designs will be more from this point of view of fantasy as opposed to functionality. Fact number 4, when it comes to jewelry, a lot of cultures across the globe, women were the original custodians of the jewelry making process. And what this means is that women were typically at the forefront of designing and creating the pieces of jewelry. This was typically seen when jewelry involved a lot of beadwork or embroidery work, or where pieces of jewelry were created as ritualistic adornment. It was only really when jewelry became a way of displaying your wealth and your status and a form of trade, and when a lot of precious metals and precious stones became incorporated in the jewelry design and creation process, that men actually took over as recognized artisans. Women, however, continued to quietly create pieces in the background for their homes, for their loved ones, lacking the recognition and with their creativity process seen very much as a craft form as opposed to a serious art form. Fact number 5, when women create pieces of jewelry for women, they create them from a point of view of lived experience, knowing what it is to be a woman. They create a piece of jewelry in celebration of what it is to be a woman, fully aware of the angles of comfort, so how comfortable a piece of jewelry is going to be, as well as with a full view on how functional women may want their pieces to be, and with soulfulness in mind as opposed to opulence or symmetry or fantasy. So when women design pieces of jewelry for women, jewelry really becomes a statement of self-expression, and as a consequence, luxury is then quickly and quite beautifully transformed from just being a beautiful spectacle to actually being a form of liberation. If you enjoyed today's 5-in-1 facts, I welcome you to share with me below your thoughts on this matter. I particularly was never very consciously aware of who created my jewelry in the past, but as I've become more consciously aware through my jewelry making process of just how meaningful jewelry can be as a form of adornment, and how powerful it is as a form of adornment, and how I've become more aware of the fact that it's not just a form of adornment, it's actually a form of creative self-expression, a beautiful and powerful way of making a statement about who you are, what you believe in, and where you've come from. As I've become more aware of all this, I have become much more consciously interested in who actually creates my pieces of jewelry. So I now, with this awareness, would, when given the choice between choosing a piece of jewelry designed by a man and handcrafted by a man, I would choose jewelry that's been handcrafted by and designed by women instead, purely because, as mentioned, when women design for women, soulfulness, comfort, functionality, and creative self-expression liberation essentially become a very big part of the picture. So I welcome you to share your thoughts with me below on this topic. If you've enjoyed the content, please do hit the like button below. Feel free to share it with anyone you think might enjoy this content too. And of course, if you want to keep on top of the videos that I'm producing and providing for you with these 5 facts, I produce one every week. So please do hit that notification button so you can know when I'm producing another video for you. Equally, feel free to subscribe if you wish to stick around for a bit longer. I am very thankful for your presence today, and I want to wish you a beautiful week ahead. Remember, because your jewelry should always be more than just an afterthought. I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.